We're here at the Louisiana Fire Chiefs Conference, and I'm here with Chief Robert Rowe. This conference is really a great success. Chief, you being the president this year, that was an enormous accomplishment. You did a wonderful job of not only leading the fire chiefs, but representing this organization very well. You know, and this conference is kind of like the highlight of all your work, and I know you and your team spent more than probably the better part of 3 years planning for this conference. So kind of give us an idea of what you think are some of the high points of this past year, and tell us a little bit about the conference.
Well, the conference, we try to bring in some things that are just not normal. We have a class on how to handle major issues with large animals. What do you do when you have an 18-wheeler full of cattle tipped over on the interstate? How do you handle these strange vehicles on the interstate, like cement trucks and garbage trucks that catch fire, not just your normal passenger vehicle. So try to think a little bit outside the box and just bring more information into the fire service.
Right.
As far as some of the highlights over this past year, obviously we got to go to Washington, D.C. again and meet with our legislators. We had huge success there, a lot of support from our federal legislators in getting things passed. We've had a good relationship with our local and state legislators and getting some things happen. We've got to help some of our neighboring states out, Florida and South Carolina, North Carolina, with some of the major flooding storms that they've had, and being able to share our resources across the state as a unified team.
Exactly. Well, you know, we're kind of in the first big day today. Opening ceremonies last night, a lot of excitement. You know, in me talking to some of the fire chiefs, they're really glad that you chose to have this in Bossier City. I think one of the important things that the Fire Chiefs Conference does is it finds itself all over the state, so it gets a good equal representation across the state. So it's very, very exciting. Again, I thank you for what you did, and I know you have a full-time job, and that's being a fire chief. So taking on this responsibility is certainly taking a toll on your full-time job and your family. So I appreciate that, and I look forward to you continuing on as a past president, which is an award that you get that's very sacred, and it means you still come around and you still help the people succeed, and you might remind them of where we came from and help them around some of those potholes. So again, thank you. I'm looking forward to this wonderful conference.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, man. Thank you.